Hello, back again to do another unboxing and review. This time it is of the XPLORER Outdoor Wireless Speaker brought to us by Beatz. So as you can see, this is a Bluetooth speaker. These have become quite popular. Bluetooth speakers have become quite popular recently, and they're being distributed more far and wide than before. However, I didn't want to just get any Bluetooth speaker. I thought I'd get one that could actually handle some use and abuse. For what I plan to using it for, I can't be afraid it's going to break. You can see by the packaging is weatherproof, shockproof, and 6 hours of play. So hopefully that should do. Now let's look into this. I'll do a quick around the package type deal. So there's the side. Again, you see the item. Front we already saw. The side, they show the item in numerous scenarios, all of which happen to be outdoors, which makes sense. They give you a quick rundown of what's included, and I'll just read it out here. You get the speaker, you get an auxiliary cable, you get a micro USB cable, a wrist strap, a belt clip, and of course the user manual. So on the back, you actually see this is actually the item. It's one of these packages where you can kind of see into the package, and the item is encased in this plastic. I think they call it clamshell. Anyway, so here you go. You have controls on the unit. Weatherproof. Okay, so the ports are covered. That's good. Shock absorbing casting. So the overall design, and I assume it probably has some kind of padding, or not padding, but rubberized stuff on the side, and then silicone strap and a rear clip. So okay, and then on the bottom here it lists off some of the other features. It's IPX4 rated. It has 6 hours, of course, depending on what you're doing with it. It has a built-in speakerphone, so you can make speaker phone calls. And it also has this here is a cool feature. You can use it as using Bluetooth, or you can actually plug in a cable and do it the wired route, the old school way. So you have that option, and that cable again is included. So everything you need is in the box. Now let's talk about the IPX4. Probably with the phones like, what is it, I know Samsung has a phone where you can drop it in the water and all that. So people are getting used to this IP rating for waterproofness. But let's just go over it quickly in case people don't know. IP rating has 2 digits. The first digit is for the dust protection. And the second digit is for the water protection. And IP stands for ingress protection. Okay, so since this has an X, in this case, it means that the unit shall be able to function with no fault if it gets water splashed on it from any angle. That's what a 4 is, okay? If you have an 8, well then you can just drop it in the water and forget about it and come back, over an hour later and pick it out of the water and you'll be fine. However, that's not this one. So this one is for splashing water. And as you see on the cover art here, they have rain splashed on it. And that's a little quick tip. If it says weatherproof, it's usually something like 4. Alright, if it was waterproof, where you could throw it in the pool, then it would have said waterproof on there. So, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Alright, so I got it open. The box essentially just opens up like this. This whole plastic tray comes out. And it is closed by these little kind of button snap type things. So it opens up like that. Unit right here. Okay, so and before we get to this, let's go to the accessories. Okay, here are the 2 cables. You have this one here, so you have a micro USB to regular USB, so that would be for charging. Yeah, for charging. I was gonna say data, but you can't exchange data, so this would just be a charging cable. And then this here is the auxiliary cable. So one end goes into the unit, the other end goes into your source, and there you go, a wired speaker. All right, and okay, so here he is. Okay, so the strap is kind of springy, so that okay, it seems to be secured with this. Yeah, so I don't think that'll come out, and that metal. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's metal. So, all right, so I'm assuming that's pretty secure. The speaker front here is, well, just like you think it would be. It is pretty rigid, so it doesn't bow in. Again, that's good for ruggedness. The outside here has this elevated. Yeah, these are darn stiff. So rigidity. Here's not only the logo, but here's most likely the ports that are covered. And there you go. Okay. Yeah, it stays closed good. Alright. Here are your controls. Pretty self-explanatory. 4 buttons. The clip. And there appears to be a screw back there. Yeah, so I'm almost sure you could use a flathead and take off this clip if you wanted to. And some of the where it was made and what it's certified or whatever. Okay, so yeah. Alright, now as far as weight goes, it actually is not that heavy. I thought it would be heavier. It's not light. It's yeah, it's a pretty darn good weight. It's not super light, so it doesn't feel like cheap, and it's not really heavy either. So it's in that, I'd say, right in the middle there, which is good, especially if you're going to be carrying this with you for any length of time. So, all right, and as far as, because batteries are obviously, it's integrated batteries, you charge it through the USB to micro USB cable. So there is no other battery source, no optional AAA batteries or anything like that. That would have been a cool feature, but that's okay. All right. And if you're out on the road, you know, there's all those power banks you can get now for dirt cheap, so you could just keep recharging it as you need to. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and charge this up and then test it out. Alright, so it finally detected it. You can see there it comes up as Urban Beats. So SBP3M. Click that. Alright, so it made the tone. And now you see how the blue light has gone solid as opposed to blinking. So that means it was a success. Alright, so just in that short time, just with that powering on and connected tone, I actually feel some good vibration out of good vibrations, but no, really, it feels rich. It doesn't feel weak. It actually feels, yeah, potent. All right, so far I'm impressed. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead, and since we're connected here, I'm gonna go ahead and make a phone call, and we should have a speaker conference call type thing set up right here, right? So yeah, I'm pushing buttons.
Welcome to the Weatherline Forecast Service, brought to you by UCare. Healthcare that starts with you. We'll have the forecast after the time and temperature from the Pier 11 backyard. Today is Friday.
Alright, so yeah, it works. It's quite loud. I mean, of course, I am in this room. You know, it's all closed off, so it's going to echo off the walls and but still, I can tell from where I'm standing, it was quite clear, and I haven't even done anything with the volume yet. I haven't increased or decreased it, so but as it is, that was so I decided I'm going to play a very short clip of some music coming out of this so you can get an idea of its projection ability. So ready? Here we go. Okay, so that's all I can do. Anyway, so but even from that little bit, it does definitely come out of this little unit here. So I'm so far impressed. I'm going to actually take it to obviously outdoors and at work, and so there'll be a lot more background noise to see if this can actually do what it needs to do. But so far, I'm impressed. And like I said, the sound is really rich out of this. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. But so, all right, I'll let you know how the actual day-to-day use is on it. Okay. Alright, so now that I've had the chance to use this for a bit, I must say I'm continued to be impressed by it. The sound quality probably is first and foremost what I noticed. It is really good, more than I would expect from something like this, so that's a definite plus. Also, I took it to one particular work day. It was a very loud day, and the machine I was working next to was loud, and I was wearing hearing protection, the little foam earplugs that you stick in your ear. Anyway, and I was still able to hear this. Now, yes, keep in mind with all that, it did sound kind of low volume, but considering everything it was fighting against, it must really be able to output some good volume level. So that's, I guess I would call that a pass on that test. So that's good. Also, what else? Oh, I also had a chance to make a phone call with a person, and they were able to hear me just fine. In case you didn't notice, the mic is right there, that little circle. So, and I just held it, at arm's length and talked, and the conversation went really clear. So that also is a big plus. So this thing is scoring good marks. Now, also a couple things. I was going to talk about the build. I did mention that this is plastic. A lot of other Bluetooth speakers are using something similar to this. Now, this is another gadget, but just to show you this real thin aluminum, and you can see it probably reflecting there. So a lot of the Bluetooth speakers you'll see are going to be made out of something very similar to this. And initially I was kind of thinking, I wish this one was made out of that, because it gives it a kind of feel of higher quality, right? After all, it is metal, even if it's a thin layer. But you know what? Now that I think about it, this device probably is better not being that. Again, it's just more rugged. That day I was talking about earlier with the noisy work area, when I was there, I had this actually, I rigged up something to tie this essentially so it was sitting on my shoulder like a parrot, like a pirate and a parrot. And I wasn't as afraid if it bumped into something, it wasn't going to get nicked and scratched like something like this would if it was made out of something like this. So actually, that I think actually ends up being a benefit that it is not made out of that aluminum casing. So, yeah, it's another thing, another good feature of this. We talked about this earlier, but since you have the option of going wired with these 3.5 millimeter male cable connection here, you can upgrade to something like this, and so if you're a true audiophile, you can step up your cable, so that won't be the limiting factor on your sound quality. So that's just another another plus, that feature that comes with this. So yeah, so all that being said, I would definitely recommend getting one of these, and especially at the price they're at now. I mean, there's really no reason not to have one of these if you're in the market for a Bluetooth speaker. And yeah, so this is I would recommend this. Get them while they last. I don't know how much this model has been out for some time, not a real long time, but in the world of this type of thing. So yeah, I'd grab them up while you can. They do have some other units. Urban Beats makes them, and the particular unit I think is the current one is more of like a, if you can imagine, like a triangle and a long. So it's like a long triangle. So it kind of looks like a doorstop. Anyway, that seems to be the current, but of course that is not nearly as handy, or it's just more cumbersome than this. So I would say get this model because again, a lot of good features, good shape. And I think, although I must admit I haven't really taken this out in the rain, and I haven't thrown it against the wall to see how shockproof it really is. I normally don't do that with my gadgets, even if they do have those specs where they say they should be able to handle it. I don't like to abuse my items, but if this does have that, or even something close to that, I think that's a plus. And I think the shape really helps with that. Circle. Pretty simple shape. There aren't corners to break off and whatnot. So yeah, I recommend this.